Hi guys, my name is Sainki and I am with Salted Art. We are an art group based in Linz in Austria. And earlier this year I discovered this center that connected with Biola University in America. It's a Christian university. And this center was the Center for Christianity, Culture and Arts. Things I personally am very interested in. And they had this Lent project. And so during the time of Lent, you get a devotion that is based on art and uses art. And for me, it was a really profound experience. I found that with art, art speaks to your heart and your soul in ways that other things do not. And it was very experiential for me. So much so that I pretty much have been waiting the whole year for the Advent project. And it's soon, end of November, we start with the Advent project. And if you're interested, you are welcome to join. Obviously, you do this by yourself, but I want to invite other people to participate because it meant so much to me as well. So pretty much what it means is you register on their website, which is for free, and then you get every day a devotion in your inbox. And the link takes you to their Advent calendar where you can spend your time, whether on the computer or on your phone. You can spend your quiet time, your devotion time. Maybe just a heads up, this is not a quick devotion of like 10 minutes and it's done. Because they use art and different kinds of art, you really need space for this art to be and for you to be with it and experience it and let it sink in and speak to your soul and your heart and really think about things. So my experience with the Lent project was that every day I need about 30 minutes for devotional time. Obviously it differs on what was written, how long it was written, and whether or not I really connected with some of the things. Obviously, as with any kind of art, something speaks more to you than other things. So sometimes you want to spend more time with it than with other things. But if you are a creative person, if you're an artist, a hobby artist or a professional artist, if you are just someone who appreciates art, you like to go to art museums, maybe pop into a gallery, go to shows and performances, listen to poetry reading, or just likes to read yourself, then try it out and see if it's as meaningful to you. But if you're not, if you're just somebody that wants to experience something new, even if you're not a Christian, I would encourage you to try and see. Art is really, the way it speaks to us is really amazing. Okay, so the devotion that you get every day consists first out of a visual art piece, like a picture. Well, you get a picture. But the visual art piece, there's such a variety and it's such a range. It can be abstract, it can be super realistic, it can be a wooden sculpture or a metal 5-meter high metal structure. It can be a building, architecture, stained glass windows, something woven that you hang from on the wall. Really anything. They use such a variety of things. So this is my heads up to you that some of the art you will not like, and that's okay. And some of the art you would be really amazed by. And again, this will determine how long the devotion takes, right? Because if it's an art piece that you're like, nah, it's not really my thing. It's interesting, but yeah. Then you obviously will go faster, right? But if it's something that you're like, wow, this is amazing. You really want to look at it and contemplate it, then you might need more time. And it's not just the variety of art, but also historically a variety. So like I said earlier, they want to connect the contemporary art with historic art. So some things will be older, like a fresco on an old church building, or like Rembrandt or Van Gogh, and even modern day artists that you've maybe never heard of, right? So it's quite a variety. The second part is the music part, where you can listen to a piece of music. So it might be good if you're maybe among other people, depending on where you do your devotion, that you have earphones. And again, the music also range from historical church music in Latin to chanting of monks in I don't know what language, to musical, just instrumental music, to modern folk songs. Some of the songs were in Hebrew, some were in Persian, but they give translations. There's a place where you can look at that. So in general, I found the music very, very interesting. Like even music I normally don't listen to, or it's not really my taste, I still enjoyed it. And I allow this time, this space to let it speak to me and to just be with it. And some of the music I like so much, I put it on my playlist and I'm still listening to it. So I really enjoyed the variety. And after the music, the second part, or the third part really, is the scripture part, where you read a piece of the Bible, where you can let it speak to you. And that is followed by a poem. Now, I know some people have different attitudes towards poems. I encourage you, do not skip the poem, right? Even if you normally feel like poems are too difficult, I don't care for poems, I don't understand them, they just confuse me. Poems are meant to be heard, not just read. So even if you don't understand it, even though it's confusing, I encourage you to just read it, but read it loud. Not loud, but so that you yourself can hear yourself, or ask someone to read it to you. And just listen and read slowly through it. Not rushing, it's not normal text, it's special text, right? It's got a rhythm, it's got structure, the way that the sentences are organized. And you don't have to understand the whole poem and now dig deeper into it. Just read it slowly, loudly through, and that's it. You've enjoyed it, you've spent time with it. Even if you didn't enjoy it, something might stand out to you. This is my experience, is some parts of a poem will stand out more to me than other parts. And I don't always have the time or the desire to really go into it. Some people who might enjoy it can, then your devotion will obviously be a little longer. But yeah, don't skip out on the poem. And then the fifth part, right? It was the visual art, then it's the music, then it's scripture, then it's the poem. The fifth part is the devotion itself. It's written by people from the Biola University or connected to it, which means it's not fluff. It's really contemplated, it's well thought out. Often it's quite personal, like I really feel like I connect with the author or the writer of the text. Often they're quite good in combining and tying in the art of that day to the text and to the scripture. So I usually quite enjoy reading the devotions. And then the last part is the written prayer, which is often quite short. You can just speak it out to God and, like I said, continue in your own words praying. So that's the basic outline. The only thing that I can just in 1 or 2 minutes share how I apply it, that I found very helpful and meaningful, was that I would start with the visual piece, but while I look at it, I would listen to the music at the same time. And this will then be just a time to calm myself, to be grounded, to get settled, and to enjoy the visual, enjoy the music. And then I start with the rest. Then I read the scripture part slowly, think about it, meditate a little bit on it. Then I do the poem. It depends on the poem. I might just read slowly through it, or I would think a little bit on some parts or reread some parts, but I do it out loud. And then I read the devotion part. Sometimes I go back to some of the pieces they mentioned, like a part of the poem or something about the visual art piece. I read through the devotion. And in the end, I speak out the prayer to God, and then I pray in my own words, like I said. And I might even reflect on the different arts, like the visual or the music or the poem and scripture as well. Reflect on those things while I talk to God. And then I would finish my devotion time by listening to the music again, but this time I look at the words. I follow along the words while I listen. Sometimes I sing along. Sometimes I sing it twice through, depending how much I enjoy the music. So this would be then my devotion time. And I won't do everything the same every time, but this is the general structure for me. You will see when you get the link of the devotion, that, like I said, at the top there's the visual art piece. Then there's the music bar, and then the text follow. And above the text, there's 2 tabs. The one tab is devotion, and the other tab is about. So everything I've talked already about is on the devotion part. That's the important part. But the about part, if you click on that tab, it opens up to the technical information, if that's what you call it, about every art piece, the visual art, the music, the composers, the lyrics, the poetry, the author of the devotion. It gives technical information, but also, I want to say, background information, stories about these artists. That was very interesting. So when an art piece really spoke to me, or a poem really spoke to me, or I really liked the music, I then would go read a little bit about the artist. That was very interesting. But on this about page is also where you find the words of the songs. And if the song's in another language, the words are there, but also the translations. So that is that. If you're interested, please go check it out. It's at CCCA on their website. I sent the link, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did, and as much as I'm looking forward to this Advent calendar.